Okay, so now we are going to go to Desmos to graph what we just walked through in the last video. This very first one is going to be ln x. So this is ln x as our function, and then what we are going to do is just graph our Taylor series that we worked through right next to it, and this definitely helps with those multiple choice problems because you can see explicitly what those two lines are. So it's easy to compare. So here for our ln, we ended up with x minus 1 as our first term, first non-zero term, and then times 1/2 times x minus 1 squared, and then plus 1/3 times x minus 1 cubed. And we can see that it's very close only in this direction. If we went out further terms, it would get closer in more directions, but that is where that center is coming from. So we're centered at 1, and there we go. So you can look at those pictures here. We'll go back to this one. To me, it looks like this option because we need our ln function to look like this. Kind of silly that they gave completely wrong ln functions. I think those are e to the x functions. And ours follows the path of our ln very closely. So in my opinion, it would be this answer. Okay, so for our next one, and we can graph our e to the x function, see what that looks like. And we can also graph our Taylor polynomial, our e plus e times x minus 1 plus e divided by 2 times x minus 1 to the 2 plus e divided by 6 times x minus 1 cubed. And very similar story, this was centered at 1. Come on, there she is. We can see this one's actually almost a closer approximation when it gets larger and larger, but when it gets smaller, it gets really far away. But this is what our series ends up looking like. So if we go back to our pictures, very similar ones for our ln. We can basically disinclude our ln graphs. I believe the blue is the ones that we're looking for. And then here you just kind of need to look the scales. I wish they gave us some slightly different ones, but I would just look at the scale and say this crosses the x-axis closer to -1, this crosses the x-axis closer to 0, and this, in my opinion, is, I guess, closer to -1 rather than 0. And then you can also look, it basically intersects at -1, -1, and that basically is where this is. So this would be my answer for this problem. But yeah, so there we go. So there's all the problems. And I'm gonna try to stop recording.